Hello and welcome to Gierok Farms. In today's video, we're going to be chopping some more corn silage. Today we are moving on to our big pile just down the road from our main farmyard. Yesterday we put together this small pile here behind me. It's a lot bigger than normal. We had to go about it in an interesting way to try to finish this pile. So if you haven't watched that video yet, make sure to go check out that one. But to start today here, we're going to fuel up the 7810. Get the chopper greased and oiled, check all the fluids on the other tractors, and just make sure all the equipment's ready. We'll get the chopper moving, and then we'll start opening up the pile and putting some new corn silage on top of it. Hope you all enjoy the video. Let's get to work. Dad and the chopper just headed out. Steve's here now. He's gonna haul some loads for us right away. In the meantime here, I'm gonna start taking apart the pile. I'm not gonna get too crazy till I hear the chopper humming along pretty good. Being we had that breakdown yesterday, we want to make sure everything's working, and from what we looked at, it seems like it'll be okay. But he's got to set the chopper low again and try to get the corn he ran over. He's gonna try and do that again, so hopefully that goes smooth. Like I said, in the meantime, I'm gonna start slowly taking apart the pile here. Probably just throw some tires off. I'll wait to cut it till see them in some of the better corn. Okay, so we got all the tires off. Now, once I see a chopper box headed back, I'll start cutting along the dirt here on the upper side and both ends, and then start scraping it off the bottom side. Everything sounds good yet. Sounds like the chopper's still rolling. Steve, he just took off with the tractor now after helping move a bunch of them tires. Things are moving along so far. Things are in full swing. We got the pile all opened up. We already got 2 loads put on the pile. The third one's getting chopped right now. I'll be bringing that up there. We'll be moving along quite well. Dad, he's gonna be on the pile with me. He'll be packing, and Steve's gonna be in the chopper. We only got a couple short rows left, and then soon there'll be nothing but long rows, so he'll be moving real fast shortly here. lot of fun unloading these chopper boxes when you got all this kind of room here. Leave a comment down below how fast you think it took to unload this chopper box. I'll throw a time up here in a couple seconds. All right, get down in the comments, start typing. I'll give you a couple seconds. I don't know if I'd guess that. Follow it. Maybe that's a better idea. All right, I'll throw it up here. Man, what a surprise. Well, I'll be interested to see. I'll be looking at the footage, timing it. Like I was saying, it's nice having all this room. You can just go one big stretch, put the chopper box in high range and just cruise right along. Next load, I'm gonna have to get more here on this end. Kind of fill this in a little bit, but we're cruising right along. Kept up to the chopper well enough where we'll get a little break here. Dad said we should talk a little bit about how well our feed's doing, how well it kept. You can see there was a spot where there was a hole from that nice lovely tarp, but overall I think it's okay. I think we did a pretty decent job patching.
The processor just doesn't, it's not that it just cracks the kernel, but the cob, you know, this is a piece of it, you can hardly find it in here. But used to get like those saucers. I know those old guys know what I'm talking about. Those flywheel choppers. That stuff would.
Here, it'd be like this. But
yeah, more of those, and then the cattle would leave them behind in the bunk sometimes. So yeah, the hay. I would say this pile is probably about as good as any of them we built over 30 years. Even though we got this one spot.
Oh, like I said, for having such a shitty tarp, well, it wasn't. It could have been a lot worse.
And that could have been the tarp, and we did have it doubled. But if the old one that was underneath had a hole near the same spot, yeah. But the other side of it is these tires are quite old. You know, so these tires are probably 35 years old, and there's little wires sticking out. You know, so we get where we have to make sure we sort them off as they start looking like that. But you don't always catch it. So anyway,
well, before we forget about that, talking to Steve yesterday, he said some of them guys overseas use like fishnet. And I'm sure these guys might be able to let us know what else.
And it was
people
more
use to pin down their tarp.
To hold the plastic instead of all these tires. And yeah, we got some of them cut already. I mean, they all got holes into the waters and sitting in them, but that's quite a deal. You know, that it actually gets to be the biggest labor part of this pile.
Yeah.
Putting all that business, you know, taking it off, putting it back on. When we do our hay, you know, we put them on and we take them all back off, put our corn on and we put them all back on again. I mean, we're handling these things 3 times a year.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And then in the winter, yeah, in the winter time too.
Yeah.
And then our loader, we kept that on the 7405 while we're talking here. I think that's gonna work out well.
Yeah, it puts the weight to the front, and then we can do a little scooting with that, because the problem with, we used to use Ollie before Ollie's on the Fritz, but 686 is kind of the same story as far as the shape of the traction, and when we get steeper,
it's not ideal getting on and off.
Yeah, you get caught up. But yeah, the hay, I would say for our first crop, you know, and we cut this one on 27th of May.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably going to be some of our best first crop in a long time. So no complaints here.
Yeah, we got it at the right maturity. So, but yeah, we're gonna keep plugging away. We gotta clean up some more dirt around here, and obviously more loads of corn silage to put on. Everything's good. We got all of our plastic pulled away. Dad's gonna go along like he did here with the skid steer and make a pile on one end or the other. I'm gonna hop on the 7405 and do a little packing. Update. Things have been going fairly smooth so far. We're about maybe 5 loads since I last talked to you guys. The only thing that really slowed us down so far is we had a bolt come loose on the chopper, kind of in that area that we had to work on yesterday on the corn head. Kept causing him to plug up, so all that's tightened down. It seems to be going really nice. He's on the long rows now, and the chopper hasn't slowed down since. I really like having this loader on the 7405. It's so nice being able to push feed pretty much right where you want it, really level it out nice. It would be nicer if we had another set of weights in the back, especially with the loader on, but still can't complain. It's not crazy noticeable at all when it comes to moving things. It's just, it'd be nice to be even heavier in the back, especially for packing, and I'd stay really nice and level. Currently I'm working on this lower edge, trying to get that shaped up nice, especially before we get too carried away. I want to have a good edge there so we can keep building off of that. I don't want to narrow up the pile prematurely. case this video is getting too long, I wanted to say thank you all for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for part 2. Pretty good solid day here so far, so hopefully it continues on, and make sure to find out by watching part 2.